Sitting is the new smoking. That hit home when the nurse practitioner said, Dietmar, you gotta walk, otherwise you may get blood clots. Tell you what, I was jumping out of my chair, so getting up and getting moving. And often, I don't know about you, sometimes I feel stuck. Sometimes I just feel like things don't go, or things, it's almost like, And two things usually help me. One is getting up and going for a walk. Just around the block, going for a walk, that helps. And the other one is sleep over it. You know that. So today, we take the go for a walk. And that is so important. Each and every one of you who has had surgery before, and we have some of our loved ones who will undergo surgery again. So it used to be a week in bed, 2 weeks in bed. Well, not anymore. Got a knee replacement, got hip replacement. You get up the same day, the very latest the next day. Now, why is that the case? Well, you don't get back to walking unless you walk. You don't learn to ride the bike without riding the bike. You don't learn to play the piano without playing the piano. So it's basically in the doing, in the acting, in doing the things, that's how you get into it. So it's not the wishful thinking, leaning back and hoping that one day I'll be able to walk again. That doesn't do it, doesn't cut it. So actually doing the things. And that's the new wisdom and also the neuroplasticity. You have heard of that, I'm sure. Like your brain is wired and gets rewired when you do new things, when you walk, when you explore, when you're curious, when you get into things to open up and be open to them. So that's when some of your, even your brain gets rewired, finds new pathways, there are neural pathways in your brain. So get up and walk, even if you don't feel like it. Now, this is a tough one, but it's here in the scriptures, and that's the only thing that works. And that's, I think, where others come in too. So I don't feel like walking today. So Sigrid says, can we go for a walk? That helps. Or I tell her, are you willing to go for a walk or for a bike ride or something? So that's where we need each other to encourage each other. But just waiting until I feel great to take a walk, turn it around, take a walk, and it does something to you. I know it does for me, just going for a walk. I think our souls are meant to be outdoors in one way or another, in some way, and not contained and confined to our homes or to the screen. And there's something about the screen. I have a hard time sitting down and waiting, like getting a haircut, waiting. Well, what do? I whip out the screen. I'm going on Pinterest or whatever. It's just normal. I have a hard time not doing it. And there's actually this survey that went out to young adults, teenagers, young adults. They asked, what would you prefer, a broken bone or a broken phone? 46% said a broken bone, and not a broken phone. Now, they probably never had a broken bone, but still, it's addictive. So even in bed sometimes I'm there. A walk would be so much better, just going for a walk, letting it go, and turning off, and limiting screen time. If you feel depressed, turn the news on. What happens? You'll feel worse. If you feel down, go for a walk. Now, what is better for you? Watching the news or going for a walk? You know it all, but it's not just in the knowing, it's in the actual doing that change happens and that gets us up. And our scriptures say about the people of God, all of us, that we're people of the journey. Actually, Christians at the very beginning, when they started, they were called the way. It's a way, it's a journey. It's not a, I believe the right things and I'm done. No, it's in the walking that the path, the way is made. When we walk together, we make a path. And in that, we explore something new. And on the journey, we come to crossroads, and that's where our scriptures come in. Moses, the great leader, he freed the people of Israel from slavery from Egypt. So finally, they were free. Then they get into the wilderness and ask, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Long journey through the wilderness, forever. And then finally they see the promised land. It's within reach. It's right there. And they're all excited, all up in arms. They want to get there. And then Moses says, wait a little bit. Let's sit down. And he tells them, you have a choice, and we always have a choice. And he tells them, you have the choice of life, of blessings. God is out to bless you. God is out to bless you. When you love God, your neighbor, yourself, when you follow the commandments, the golden rule, when you do the right things, you will live into God's blessings. But there is the other choice too. You forget God. You go your own way. You'll end up always me first. You forget the ones who are hurting. You're walking off the path. You're straying. And that's when you choose what is not life, what is death, what is not promising, what is not God's blessings and future for you. So Moses lays it out like that and says, how will you choose? And we need reminding of that, don't we? So two things that come to me that are very important as we journey and as we walk together are, one is, the faith journey is never a solo journey. We need each other. We come together, we listen, we encourage each other, we cheer each other on, we celebrate our highlights, and we walk through the valleys with each other. And we know what it feels like when we have been there, and we know what it is like to be with others when they go through the same thing. So we walk together. We need each other. And I really need my guide, that's Sigrid. Because I'm the one who does shortcuts, who does meandering, and she gets me back. Dietmar, you lost track. Did you think of this? Did you think of that? So one of the greatest gifts, 30 plus years, Sigrid, because she keeps me. And I've been so much headache and heartache for her. The second thing is that really matters on our journey is let the heart do the leading. Follow the heart. Our scriptures always say, and we come back to love. It's a heart thing and the hand thing, the doing, the acting on it more than it's the head. So yes, we need the head. We need to learn math and science. It's very important. That's how we grasp reality. But when it comes to faith, when it comes to our journey with one another, when it comes to choosing life, when it comes to the race, to the walking like Enoch walking with God. It always is about the heart. So, Charles Wesley, the great founder and leader of Methodism, he said, "You know what? I do not care as much how exhilarating your conversion experience may be. You may have felt like in the seventh heaven on the mountaintop. It doesn't matter as much as high as you have felt, but how do you walk the walk?